You're watching Global News Morning on Global Kingston.
Good Wednesday morning. Please join me in welcoming Adam Pache, the bearded wonder from Kingston Gaming Nexus. It's all things collectibles and cards and comics and board games, and we're going to be concentrating on the major films that are coming out based on comics and pop culture. How are you, bud?
Oh, doing well.
Yeah, the bearded wonder returns. We love when you visit. Let's talk about what's coming up soon in theaters. There's a lot of, for instance, Hellboy's coming out, Avengers.
Yeah,
Set these up.
Basically this weekend is the big one, which is DC's Shazam.
Yep, we'll talk about that in a moment too.
Then in the week after that, we have the new Hellboy reboot movie starring David Harbour.
So this is a new actor playing Hellboy.
Yeah, so it's a new take. And then at the end of the month, we have Avengers Endgame, which is already doing 3 times better on pre-sales.
I heard.
From the previous one. Then the following month, we have Dark Phoenix, the new X-Men movie. And then the month after that, we have Spider-Man Far From Home.
Well, comic aficionados are going to be loving the next several months in terms of comic-based films. Let's talk about what's happening this weekend with Shazam. As a kid, he was my favorite, but there's some little bit of confusion between the DC Shazam Captain Marvel and Marvel Comics Captain Marvel. But before we get to that, let's show you a little bit of the trailer for Shazam.
As a champion, say my name so my powers will become yours. Shazam.
Wait, for real?
Say it, okay? Say my name. Shazam!
I just got goosebumps. I'm so excited for this film because as a kid, I loved the TV show on Saturday mornings. But this one looks like to be like a comedy, though.
They're definitely taking it in a more humorous spin. DC's kind of like backing away from being the grim dark, and like Shazam has always been a more lighthearted, more innocent comic, and they're taking it a little bit more with a slightly bit more humorous comedic.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's a nice, refreshing take. The early reviews, because there was some preview showings, have been very positive.
Really? Good. Well, I like that. Of course, he's not a new character. He's been around for a long, long time. We have some footage of Shazam throughout the years. Look, all the way back to 1941. Great special effects back in those days, I gotta tell you.
He was the first live-action superhero.
Shazam was.
Shazam
predates Superman.
Originally, it was the company wanted to do Superman, but then didn't get the rights, so they did Captain Marvel instead, which is part of the reason there was all a little bit more of the war between DC and Shazam at the very start.
Well, was one created as sort of a rebuttal against the other one, or something like that?
Well, that's the main reason why Captain Marvel had his problems. Was Superman came first in 1938, Shazam came in 1940 by a competing company starring Wiz Comics #2, and basically DC Comics was suing every other company that was putting out Superman lookalikes.
It's like a soap opera.
And so basically DC sued Fawcett Comics in 1941. Fawcett managed to push the trial back for almost 8 years until 1948, and then that trial went until 1951, came back in 1952, and eventually ended in 1953.
Wow.
And basically Fawcett was at that point decided that the marketplace with superheroes has gone down, and they actually decided to give up. And they ceased publications of Captain Marvel and paid DC $400,000 in damages for having a lookalike character.
Wow.
And basically, after that, in 1966, a company called MF Entertainment saw that the Captain Marvel trademark was open. They made a comic. Marvel saw it, and then basically sued them, saying we own the name Marvel, and they won. So they put out their own Captain Marvel comic.
A female.
No, it started with a male.
Oh, okay.
Marvel, who is played by Annette Bening in the movie, was originally a male character.
And then they made it into a female
And
for
then-
this blockbuster film. We got to wrap it up right now, though. But he's been quiet for a while, Shazam, in the world of pop culture. This movie is going to resurrect his presence, do you think?
Yeah, he's already bringing about quite a bit of attention, as well as part of it is 2012. They officially changed his name from Captain Marvel to Shazam.
Okay.
To make it less confusing because people knew him
Right.
by both.
Okay, we're going to end this with you giving us a Shazam.
Shazam!
Thank you so much, Adam Potier.
Global News Morning.
Wishing you a great Wednesday morning. We were just talking about Shazam, the movie. It's coming out this weekend. See, I was a bit of an odd kid. All my friends, they were either like into Spider-Man, Batman, or Superman. I was the odd one. I always dug Shazam.
You liked, what was it about Shazam?
It was the TV show, which was amazing
Yep.
for kids, and it came just before ISIS, Almighty ISIS. It was by the same makers.
All right.
ISIS was another superhero, but I don't know, just whenever Billy Batson would yell Shazam and then turn into Captain Marvel, I get goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah. So you're excited for this movie?
Yes, I'm definitely going to go see it.
That's a beautiful. So that's not a traditional comic book, though.
Well, this is Shazam throughout the years, because there's
Oh.
been a lot of variations of him and a lot of merchandise in this particular book, a lot of toys based on Shazam. So this is like a little bit of a collector's item, showing all the collector's items throughout the years. I'm so
Okay.
excited.
Perhaps something to flip through during a rainy day, and we could see some rain today.
A little bit of a light rain by